Can you give some language to what is the spiritual order in our design?
So we're spirit, soul, and body. Spirit is the inner core. It is what connects with God our Father. It's the design to be connected with its creator. And when it's not with God our Father, then we're looking to connect that spiritually somewhere, somehow, to make sense of it. So that's just spirit. And then you have the soul, and the soul is made up of your thoughts, your emotions, and your will. Okay, so this is what you think, this is how you feel, and this is how you behave. That's in your soul. And then you have the body, which is that outer layer, right? It's our physical manifestation of who we are. So the spirit can get hurt, but that has that one connection. And sometimes we don't see that because that's just, we're connected with Abba Father. Sometimes when we're disconnected, we could see it affect the other pieces. We could see that we're working in our own strength and we get tired and burnt out. And then when we have the soul and we haven't addressed the soul, we have to understand that the soul is wounded. So we're born into a broken world, and there are wounds, and just, I summarize them in 5, but there's probably more than this, but like humiliation, injustice, betrayal, abandonment, rejection. And I like to take someone all the way back to being in their mother's womb. And obviously you're not going to remember that, but this is part of your exploratory season of asking questions like what was mom like when I was conceived? What was she feeling? Was there stress? All of those are studies, scientific studies that show how stress affects the unborn child. And so there's wounds. Like I was sharing, I had the wound of rejection, abandonment, even before I was born. And so those wounds, when those wounds are created, then the enemy inserts lies into these wounds. That I'm not loved, and I'm not good enough, and I'm not wanted, I'm not worthy. And so you start to live life through that narrative. So I went through low self-esteem, I went through eating disorders, I attempted suicide when I was 14 years old. So all of those, is it because God didn't love me? Absolutely not. It's because I was wounded and I didn't understand and didn't have language, neither did my family. We were all just very wounded. So when you don't address those wounds, then it manifests in your adult life, even in your adolescence and young adults, but really in your relational life. Once you get married, you see a lot of that coming to the surface. And just to keep it very simple, it's like if you go and you go and look at some houses and you find this house that is beautiful and it has a beautiful floor and beautiful carpet and wow, you're like, wow, that is so expensive. It looks so beautiful. But if they have never done any maintenance to the floor, and all of a sudden in the atmosphere, there's toxins, and people are getting sick, and they have no idea until they come and test it, and they're like, oh, there's mold in the home. Well, guess what? They got to tear out those floors. And I don't care if you spend $1 million on those floors. That's not going to cover the toxin in the mold. And it's really the mold that produces the toxin. So an unresolved issue can grow like mold. And you can try and cover it up with the $1 million flooring. But at the end of the day, that is going to give off toxins that are actually lethal. And then it could actually kill somebody, but more often than not, it keeps someone in bondage. So that person may choose to live in that environment with a lot of masks to cover themselves, very restrictive, maybe to one piece of the house, when you are called to enjoy all of it. But you have to do the work. You have to pull back the carpet, clean out the mold, heal, and then lay it out again.